So hello everybody, welcome to Conversations with Sakeina and this Zombie Tarot walkthrough that we're going to do. Now this is not a new deck. I believe it came out in 2012 and it's probably been covered a zillion times, that's my guess. However, I just can't help myself. It is such a great deck, and if you haven't seen it, I thought, well, this is December, around Christmas time, or a couple weeks before Christmas. And every once in a while you get tired of this sappy Christmas music, and, you know, I'm not a Scrooge, not one to go ho-hum, but they start the Christmas music way too early, and shopping is crazy, and that kind of thing. So just kind of reminds me of the Zombie Tarot. So we're going to go through the deck card by card. We're going to take a look at the guidebook and stay tuned until the end, because I am going to ask my spirit guide, Sakeina, to give us her take on this deck, as I do all of the decks I do walkthroughs on. So let's get started. We have one solid box here. It really is quite the solid box. And they've got some cool stuff kind of written on insight and ammunition for surviving the undead uprising. Sorry, my glasses are not working very well on the smaller writing. They have symbols on here. Each one is for, this is wands, this is swords, this is cups, and this is hazards or pentacles. Then you can flip, and again it says insight and ammunition, same as it did on the front. 78 cards. And here's the side, Zombie Tarot. It says, in the event of a zombie attack, get to a secure location, open this box, and consult the Zombie Tarot. The fully functional 78 card tarot deck offers valuable advice on life, love, family, friendship, automatic firearms, premature burials, cannibalistic children, and more. The enclosed instruction book shows how to interpret all 78 cards and provides helpful tips on giving a reading. So there's some humor to this as well. And, you know, if you're not into the zombie bit, I suggest you click off now. Some of the images on the cards are, they're pretty graphic, some of them. So, and we have Stacy Graham and Headcase Design. I'm assuming that's who it's by. And it says high caliber divination. Clever. And then we have on the other side of the box, we've got past, present, future, and just a few of the cards. 78 card tarot deck and instruction book is what it includes. And then same thing as, well, I guess. Anyway, all right, so we've covered all sides. On the back it says, in this particular case, it says $21.99 in the US, $28.99 in Canada. All right, so let's take a look at this box here. I wasn't kidding when I said heavy duty box. This, if you can see how thick this box is, it's incredible. I mean, it's not going to give real easy, we'll put it that way. And then I'm not going to show you the cards quite yet. We have, it's a paper bottom, or I don't even know what to call it. It has kind of fuzziness to it. It is plastic, it feels like, but there must be something underneath, and I didn't take it apart. Let's see if I can. Nope, I think it's in there pretty, oh, there we go. All right, so again, thick box, but they've added extra cardboard here to make sure that it is good and solid. It fits in there beautifully. Look at that. it suctioned air out as I pushed it down in there. Air blew on my hand. So it's a good fit. And it gave you, you know, the, gosh, can you even see that? It has thumb holes here on each side. You saw it maybe when we took it out. All right, there we go. Why didn't I think of that to start with? Okay, so we have the thumb holes. They're down inside when you push it in so that you can grab the cards this way. So that is the box. It is a heavy duty box, and as you can see on the bottom here, we have bullets as though it was an ammunition box, prediction, protection, and it says GAR, G-A-R Production Company, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Says for use in surviving the undead uprising. So they covered pretty much all aspects of what you might think of with a zombie apocalypse. All right, so here is the guidebook, which I really like it. I just, for some reason, I really like this book. So it says Mystical Prediction Oracle Instruction Booklet. And I like the fact that they've kind of colored the pages. And I've used mine a lot, so I'm losing the glue here. I'm going to have to tape it or something. But we have the table of contents. So the Zombie Tarot. You know what? I'm going to bring this down a bit more so maybe you can see it too. All right. The Zombie Tarot, your weapon of choice. Conducting a reading. Talks about the beginner, the broken heart, the gravestone, the eyeball, and the severed head. Those are actually readings that they give you, or layouts. And we have a camera that doesn't want to focus here. Major Arcana and Minor Arcana. Then it gives a little bit of information on these pages. Talks about the cups, the wands, the swords, the hazards, meaning pentacles, breaking down the numbers. So aces 2 through 10. And then pages, knights, and kings. Conducting the reading. The beginner spread, the broken heart spread, the gravestone spread, the eyeball spread, and the severed head spread. Then we start in with the Major Arcana. And they don't give a lot of information. It gives a couple keywords or 3 keywords and some info, but it is enough to read the cards. And it does the same thing through, you know, all the suits of the cards, the same amount. What is interesting in here is all of these cards, they just give you the image, okay, the person, or in this case, the hand. But on the cards themselves, there is background that they don't show in this book, which I thought was pretty clever. And then in the back of this book, we have fun advertisements, obviously related to zombie things. So I don't want to wreck that for you. So might be something you would like to get. And we may be looking into this as we go. So let's take a look at the cards now. Obviously, this is not a reversible deck. For some people, that's a deal breaker. But the back is pretty cool. Zombie Tarot. I have to say, the cards, for me anyway, they're thicker cardstock. Okay, thicker than, if you have any Llewellyn decks, you know how easy Llewellyn decks are to shuffle. And these I can side shuffle and I don't want to do it right now because they're all in order. But these I can side shuffle, and I think I have actually done a riffle shuffle but couldn't do the bridge at the end because they're just too thick. They aren't as thick as an Insight Editions deck, such as Supernatural or the Labyrinth, or I think the newest one out is Beetlejuice. They're not as thick as those, but they're still a lot harder card stock than is easy to shuffle. So with that said, we're going to get started here with showing you the cards. So we'll start with the Fool. And I'm going to take this down even further for you so you can really get a look at this card. Now, I'm not going to go into things really heavily with this deck. I think if you're a tarot reader, you can probably understand much of what's going on here. But as you see with the Fool, this gentleman doesn't seem to realize that, anything is going on, or he fails to face it purposely. So he is making it look like everything is going as always, how it used to be before the zombies came to be. So he is walking along, la-da-da-da-da. There is a vulture behind him. He's just going off with, like he would in his suit and nice clothes. And he's going to walk into zombies that are going to come up out of the ground and grab him. So he's pretending not to be aware. Next is the Magician. Looks like a pretty creepy guy to me. The High Priestess. Like I said, you might not want to see this deck. It can be pretty graphic and might really bother you. So if that's the case, I suggest you click off. But it's creative license here. I think, whoever created this deck knew that there was a zombie following out there and really tried to make it unique. And did so. The Empress. Now, there's your classic mother archetype of the Empress, and she is going to take care of that child of hers no matter what. And as you can see, the child is a zombie, but she does have her chained right here. Then we have the Emperor. You know what? I'm going to do this. We have the Emperor. And for some reason, I really love this Hierophant card. You take that for what you'd like. What they're saying in the book, let me grab it here, for this card. Truth, advice, education. The truth can be hard to swallow, especially if you're missing part of your esophagus, but pay attention to the messages you're receiving. Though they may be alarming, you'll need the information to make wise choices later. And with the city under siege, there's no telling how long this reporter will stay on the air. And as you can see, they have a little bit of comedy in how they've written the book. Okay, so we have the Lovers. The Chariot. Interesting version of the Chariot. You can see that there's a coffin in here. There is, looks like machine guns or Gatling guns or something on the top of this hearse. A lot of people down, or a lot of zombies down. Justice. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. Strength. We have the Hanged Man. We have Death. Temperance. The Devil. And I found this really interesting too, because it's a cigarette machine for those people who aren't old enough to remember cigarette machines that look like this. But you could throw money in it and hit one of these buttons, whichever cigarettes you like to smoke. And in this case, for the Devil card, the cigarette machine is called Vice, which basically this is addiction. It's an addiction. Smoking is an addiction. Drinking, gambling, etc. It's vices that we have. It's the devil on our shoulder saying, you need these. The Tower. There's more to it, obviously, than that, but the Tower. And this one's kind of neat because it's showing this whole tower, and in one of the rooms in this tower, there's people. And they just thought that there was going to be no way that zombies could actually get in to this building or up on this building, inside the building. And they're showing one apartment or whatever this is in this tower where you've got people and then in come the zombies. The zombies are black and white. So it wasn't as safe as what they thought. The Star. And this star says Zombie Slayer, Medal of Honor. The Moon. Cool card. The Sun. And this is one of those cards that, and I have to admit, I have been using the deck, and there are a few cards that I do have to look up from time to time. Success, Enlightenment, Hope. Sweet success. The morning sun has risen and the rescue teams have arrived. After foiling a hostile takeover by the undead, you've earned a one-way ticket to a safer place. Now it's time to make plans for the future. Consider traveling to warmer climes or getting a new job. There's good money in corpse disposal nowadays. So again, the comedy in their writing. Judgment. Now isn't that quite the scene? So we have somebody at the computer and we have a finger on the fire button here. And the World. So as we can see, the world is being destroyed again by Judgment, the missile. And we have people underground here, under the ground, safe for the time being, kissing one another. Are they kissing goodbye? Perhaps. Okay, so that's the major arcana. And this is one of those decks, if you are a tarot reader who does world news, who is reading cards for world events, maybe I should say that. This is a great deck for that. So then we have the Ace of Cups. Two of Cups. Three of Cups. Four of Cups, Five of Cups, Six of Cups, Seven of Cups, Eight of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ten of Cups, Page of Cups, Knight of Cups, Queen of Cups, all of these have brains in them, at least the cups. I'm not sure about the king here. King of Cups. I don't really see a brain in his. Moving on to Wands. We have the Ace of Wands, Two of Wands, Three of Wands, and again, this is another one of those where they're showing that the zombies are wanting to get in, and in this house, in this circle, it's showing the inside of a room where the ladies are having a party and playing music, which is probably what alerted the zombies that they were there. So celebration. Four of Wands, oops, Five of Wands, Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands, now this was another one that kind of struck me, because normally the Eight of Wands in like the Rider-Waite-Smith deck is the wands flying through the air. And so I was like, okay, I don't understand what this one is supposed to be showing. So it says travel, expansion, on the move, faster than you can say, well, most anything since you've lost your tongue. You've been presented with a new opportunity. Travel is imminent, so choose a path to stagger along and enjoy the occasional human morsel as you go. If you take charge, others will follow your lead. Trust your inner zombie and roll with it. Good news is coming. Brace yourself for awesome. And also, as I showed you, there's nothing in the background of these cards, but there is, or in the book, but there is in the background of this one. So part of the clue here is follow the path. Nine of Wands, Ten of Wands, Page of Wands, King of Wands, or sorry, I did that a little bit we missed the Knight. Okay, here's the Knight. Sorry. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Ace of Swords. What does that say? For the zombie hunter. Yep, for the zombie hunter is on the blade. Two of Swords. Three of Swords. Four of Swords. And another addition here is we've got the soldier resting. There's some beer cans down here, and he's trying to rest, and he's remembering all the battle. At least I think that's what that is. Hold on. Yep, he's remembering the battle. It's all going through his head, so he's not resting very well, is he? And the Five of Swords. And please forgive me if you can hear my Chihuahua snoring. It is very cold outside, so he is laying right by the heater by me as I'm doing the reading. And snoring. Six of Swords. Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. Come on, focus. There we go. Nine of Swords. Ten of Swords. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. Queen of Swords. King of Swords. Ace of Hazards or Ace of Pentacles. Two of Hazards or Pentacles. Three of Hazards. Four of Hazards. This is one of the cards I thought was really quite something, because the Four of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck shows a person standing on or sitting on coins, keeping them tight. There's one under each foot and one that they're holding, and I think one near the head, or anyway. So this person here is in a bunker of sorts and has everything that he needs. He's hoarding it all to himself. And there's relatives or family or people that he knows banging on the door and trying to get in, and he's plugging his ears with his hands. Five of Hazards. Six of Hazards. Seven of Hazards. In this one, they appear to be doing testing on a zombie. Eight of Hazards. Nine of Hazards. Notice it says Dead Mart here. Giving you a little glimpse of what's inside the store. Ten of Hazards, or Pentacles. Looks like a happy family being served by zombies. Page of Hazards. See how he's chained to the mailbox. Knight of Hazards. Queen of Hazards, or Pentacles. And the King of Hazards, or Pentacles. Okay, so that pretty much covers all of the cards. Sorry for the blur. So I'm going to show you, to the best of my ability here, the shuffling. So I'm going to try to do a riffle shuffle. We have it split. See, it doesn't have a lot of bend here. So the cards, yeah, see, I don't put a lot of pressure because I really don't want to bend any of the cards. So that really does not work well at all. At least not for me. So I mean, some people might be a little more aggressive with their cards than I am. So this is the way that I tend to shuffle these. And what I'm going to do is go off camera for a few minutes, and I'm going to shuffle really well and come back and share with you what Sakeina's take is on this deck. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're back, and I'm going to move the candle out of the way and the sage out of the way so that when Sakeina throws a card out, it doesn't get burned. Okay, so I always do jumpers with Sakeina. So Sakeina, could you please send out a card or two to let us know what your take is on this Zombie Tarot deck? And since it is, oh, there comes one. We have Queen of Wands. Oh, okay. We got stuff shooting out all over the place, meaning, all right, and we have the Ace of Wands. Let's see if there's any other ones she would like to throw out. Okay. All right, so she gave us the Queen of Wands. Let me take this, whoops, take this down a little bit. Straighten it out. All right, so we've got the Queen of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Hierophant. Okay, so first thing that I'm seeing with the wands is that Sakeina is saying this is a very creative deck. It's also a deck that you're going to have to pay attention to details. I think also for those people who want to read for themselves and read health, I believe that health is one of those things that this deck could possibly aid with. And she's saying the creative possibilities are pretty well limitless with this deck, how you would like to use it and how you interpret each one of these cards. And as the Hierophant, I feel like she's saying here that this is one of those decks that, again, creative energy. There's no doubt that there's major creative energy here. It is one of those decks that, as I stated, you can use for fake news, stories, or for current events to find out the truth about current events. I think she's saying that that is a really good thing for this deck specifically. Also, it's a good deck for past readings. Perhaps she's meaning past lives or something along those lines. But I'm looking at how old this television set is, and it is obviously broadcasting in black and white. I'm also seeing with this Queen of Wands, I feel like detail is one of those things, as Sakeina has stated. This is going to be a detail-oriented deck, okay, where you really have to stop and look at what's going on in each of the pictures to maybe get a really, really good reading. She's saying that it can also fool you. And if you look at, the news situation we were talking about, if we're talking about fake news, then, obviously that news can fool us. So the detail is going to be very, very important in reading this deck. But the creative potential of it is amazing. So she hasn't really told us whether she likes the deck or not. So we're going to shuffle one more time and see if, she popped out. And look at that. The card she popped out is the Lover's deck. The Lover's card. And, it can mean that, yes, I absolutely love this deck. It's also a card of connection. So I think she's saying here that it's going to be, you're either going to love it or you're not going to love it. There has to be a connection of some sort in using this deck for you to feel comfortable and as though you're as close as these lovers are, like it's a part of you. You're going to have to really work at it as you might work at a relationship. And this is also a card meaning choice. So it is going to be a card, a deck of choice. You're either going to like it or you're not going to like it. It's either going to work for you or it's not going to work for you. But yes, she is saying she likes it. She loves the creative aspect of it. So everybody, that is what we have for the Zombie Tarot deck. I hope you've enjoyed this rather quick walkthrough. I think it was quick anyway. And that maybe you'll give this deck a little fair shot. Granted, some of the imagery is a little but depending on, what kind of readings that you're doing is going to depend upon whether the images are that important to you or not. They can be very detailed, very difficult to look at, but I think it gives a new aspect, a kind of a whole new practice to those who read intuitively with images as well as keywords. So food for thought. Anyway, thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.